This week was filled with some amazing figure highlights. From pop stars to barmaids, androids and demon lords, and even appearance by a certain Dark Knight. So let's go on in and take a look. Hey everyone, it's Tony here with Nerds Never Sleep, and it's time again for another weekly figure roundup. That's right, this is the time of the week where I bring you in, show you all of the statues, figures, and collectibles that I highlighted on the channel in the previous week using things like YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, TikToks, and photo galleries across the various social media platforms. Now this week, while I was away, I did manage to post a solid 5-figure week, and I was pretty hyped because for the first time in quite some time, I had no flags, no issues, no takedowns, everything posted without a hitch, and they all performed exceptionally well. So, in my excitement, we're going to go ahead, we're going to talk about each one of these pieces right now, let you guys take another look at them, and then I'm going to give my thoughts on my favorites. So since it was the anniversary / birthday of a certain fan favorite Vocaloid, I had to, of course, start the week out with a strong Miku Monday. This time I went with the 13th anniversary Pop Idol birthday Miku prize figure. Now this thing is absolutely incredible, guys. From all the crazy details on her dress with the little balloons lining it, even with the details on the circular base, they did put some decals, decorations, and things like that on it, so it does make it pop exceptionally well. The only gripe I have about this one is her twin tails have extra pieces added to them. So they actually have very gloppy kind of seams to them. I know, is that even a word? I don't know. But they didn't really do the greatest job blending the seams off the excess pieces of the twin tails. But other than that, this one is an amazing piece, you guys. She's a very, very affordable prize figure, I think still to this day. And it is a few years old now. But she is so adorable from the pose she's got, the look on her face, the little crown kind of off to the side of her head, resting against one of her twin tails. The thing just looks fantastic. It almost looks like she's wearing a cake because of like the frosting kind of lining on the dress. So it just, it's a fantastic Miku. And I know I gush about Mikus a lot because there are just so many awesome Miku figures. And you know what? When you got a great prize figure, you really do have to sing its praises, especially when the higher end Mikus go for $300-400 plus. So when you can get a very awesome looking prize figure, I've got to sing out its praises because you know what? Not everyone can afford $300 and $400 Miku figures. So if you are in the market for a very affordable, super cute anniversary / birthday Miku, check out this figure yourself. Now for Twin Tuesday, as far as the ladies of ReZero, I kicked the twins to the curb this week and brought out one of the big guns, a fan favorite, of course, not mine, but I brought out the girl, Amelia. Now this is part of the trio of lovely ladies from the Sega Oktoberfest line, and I know it's not October yet, but people are already posting their drinking plans and things like that, so I said, why not? This is part of like a beer maid look series, and they are freaking adorable. It's got Rem, Rom, and of course Amelia in their barmaid outfits. Rem and Amelia in this set are both serving up drinks in the epic boots, and if you guys have seen Beer Fest, you know what the boot's all about. And then Rom is actually sitting munching on a giant pretzel. So it's a really, really cool trio, very creative set, and every detail on this piece slaps. The look on her face, she looks like a cheery kind of barmaid. The details on the skirt, the top, even on the little beer boots are amazing. They got the foam all coming out of them. And you know what? She looks like your St. Pauli girl, whatever you want to call it, your typical beer maid. And they just look incredible. She's got the little bandana wrapped around her hair to keep it going, but she still maintains her hair accessories for the Amelia look. She has the massively long hair, and they even added a little hair tie to the bottom of her hair to show that her hair is not just flowing freely everywhere. Very, very cool little details on it, guys. And if you are a fan of ReZero, a fan of Amelia, or honestly just a fan of obscure kind of beer memorabilia, this would work for you either way. All three of these ladies are still a reasonable price. I know they're a little bit older now, but if you look around, you can probably score them for a good deal, especially if you buy all three together. But again, for a what used to be a $20 prize figure, absolutely fantastic piece, and I highly recommend it for any fan of ReZero. Now for Waifu Wednesday, I went to one of my favorite game franchises, of course, Persona. So this is the Persona 3 Reload Aegis Collector's Edition figure. Now, not really on the large side, but what she lacks in size and a actually cool base, the figure itself is absolutely awesome. Now, the details on Aegis herself, from all the little mechanical joints and things like that, work amazingly well. She's got her C's armband, and it's perfectly done. The hair is sculpted really, really well. There's no gloppy kind of chunky seams or anything like that, so it looks really great. She's got her earpieces, everything, even down to, like, you know, you can see where her gun arms kind of come out, her wrist. Looks very, very awesome. The paintwork on it is super, super slick. Got a metallic kind of shine, almost like a glossy metallic shine to all the white paint. Of course, the gold is very, very metallic, and it even has like a more matte finish to the joints in her arms, so it kind of makes it pop, where the parts that move actually have a more matted finish, and the parts that are not moving, like the decorations on her legs and things like that, have a more glossy and shiny tone to them. So it actually works really, really good when you get down to all the details. All in all, she is a fantastic piece, and it's a great addition for a Persona fan, but in order to get her, you had to buy the collector edition of Reload, which I think went down as far as half price. So if you can get your hands on one, I do recommend it for anyone who is a Persona fan, a Persona 3 fan, a fan of Aegis, or if you're just a game collector that loves to hoard collector editions like I do. Definitely recommend it. Again, my only gripe with it is she is small, but it was a more affordable collector edition. And this base, I don't like the base. It lacks any kind of creativity or anything like that. It's just a bunch of blocks on top of each other. I like that it gave her an ability to kind of have a more dynamic pose, but we could have had something a little more creative here. All in all, I think she came out fantastic. I still have not unboxed her pop-up parade, so I don't have the actual comparison I can make yet. But again, guys, if you can get your hands on it, I do recommend checking it out. Even if you already have the game and you're just trying to get the goodies that come with it, the figure is worth it. And going back to That Time I Got Reincarnated as Slime, for That Time I Got Reincarnated Thursday, of course, I went to the daddy, the Demon Lord, Rimuru. Now, this is part of the Ichiban Kuji series of That Time I Was King, or When I Was King. I forget the actual translation for it, or I Was King. Either way, I've seen it translated several different ways. I think it was I Became King. But this Kuji set consisted of 3 incredible figures and 1 last prize, which was, of course, Rimuru sitting on this massive kind of gold tinted at the top slime throne with the big throne popping out of it, looking like a boss. The thing came out fantastic. There was the other version of this as well, which gave him a purpler tone hair, which is the last prize. We had Guy Crimson sitting on a massive slime. You've seen him on the channel a few times. And we had Lady Malim sitting on what I believe was a stack of pancakes with Ramaris on her shoulder. I have still not unboxed that one yet, guys. So if you want to see it, let me know. I'll do a video for her. All in all, this thing is absolutely fantastic. And in the massive amount of Rimurus that I have, and a lot of them I really, really love, this one still stands out as one of my favorites, just because it's a different look, a different kind of pose for the character with different accessories. Now, I do have him in his long coat and all that stuff with his swords and a lot of other figures, but this being on the slime throne makes it stand out way more than a lot of the other just classic standard pose Rimarus. The details on this are done incredibly well, and I know some Kuji figures have a big hit or miss, but this one is definitely a hit all across the board. All the lines, all the paint, all the sculpt, everything on this is done really, really well. And I've been asked about it by people going, hey, is yours wrecked because it's a little lopsided? That's actually the way this figure sits because it is on a slime. So it does show there's a little bit of angle to it. And I think that's really cool. It's a nice little touch because he's not sitting perfectly straight up in a perfectly straight chair. He is actually sitting on a slime throne. That is a squishy thing. So I love that they gave that kind of the depth to it where everything's kind of sunk into the slime. It looks really, really awesome. And people had commented about the gold overspray on the top of the slime, which is not actually overspray. It is intentional because you do have the throne coming up out of the slime. It's essentially the slime turning into the throne. So all in all, guys, I think this is an absolutely fantastic Rimuru. And if you are a fan of the boy or the series, I highly recommend looking for this one. I believe some online retailers still do have this in stock. So I definitely recommend doing your online research and trying to find one if you're looking. Now, I closed out the week with a banger that you all really, really loved. I brought out the Dark Knight himself, Batman from the Arkham City Collector's Edition. Now, what sold me on this Collector's Edition when it came out was not only that it came with a Batman, and I didn't have very many Batman pieces back then, but this is a Batman piece done by one of my favorite companies, of course, Kotobukiya. Now, back then, I used to only collect their Shoujo lines, which obviously y'all know I am a huge fan of. So this was a different little thing for me, but he fit perfectly with my DC Comics Bishoujo. So this was a fantastic piece, obviously modeled after the Arkham games. And man, did he come out great. The details on the suit, everything about it. He's in the crouching position. They gave him the kind of pissed off look on his face. And man, everything down from the little details on the fabric of the costume itself to the details on his really beefy gauntlets. This thing came out phenomenal. And Kotobukiya has always been very, very good with their sculpts and their paint and everything else. So having this thing packed in a collector's edition made a no-brainer sale for me because I was a Kotobukiya collector and getting a new Kotobukiya exclusive statue was a win-win for me. Now, I know a lot of you probably already have this piece if you're a Batman fan. And this is probably on the more expensive side if you're trying to track down that collector's set. Maybe if you get one that's already been opened or you get the figure loose through someone else trying to sell it, you can get your hands on this one. But other than that, it is the only way to get this, much like the Aegis Collector Edition box. So, if you guys are in the market for a smaller Batman based off the Arkham series, you still might be lucky enough, I'll say, to grab one of these on the cheap if, again, you can just get the figure on its own. So I do always recommend to people to kind of try to look in things like eBay, Mercari, and things like that to find just the figure for sale. Because sometimes people piece these sets out and you could get lucky. That's kind of my only suggestion for if you want to get your hands on this piece. But if you can, I do recommend it because we didn't get a lot of Arkham pieces, especially affordable ones. I know we got some larger scale stuff and things like that that were pretty expensive. So if you're looking for something that is definitely more affordable and doesn't take up as much shelf space, I do recommend kind of doing a little bit of research and trying to pick one of these up if you can. All in all, he looks incredibly badass, and I'm absolutely happy that I ended up getting it. And that's going to be it for your closer look at all the figures that I highlighted last week. Now, what I usually do at this point is I give you my thoughts on my favorites. I always go with the higher end and the lower end stuff. This week, I have 3 higher end pieces and 2 lower end pieces. So it's a little bit different because I'm going to classify the collector edition stuff and the Kuji as higher end things. So these 2 ladies over here, Miku and Amelia, are going to be classified in the lower end because they are prize figures. So This is going to be an easy one for me because y'all heard me gushing about this already, but the Rimuru Kuji figure is going to take the win for me. As much as I love the Batman and I love the Aegis, bang for your buck, especially because these were in expensive collector editions. The Rimuru Kuji figure takes it for me. Again, this is one of my favorite Rimurus. I absolutely adore it. I think the whole look of it is incredible. And as I've said, guys, if you don't already have one of these, you need one for your slime collection because he's absolutely incredible. As far as the lower end stuff, I'm pretty sure you guys know what my bias is going to be towards. Of course, it's going to go towards Hatsune Miku in her Pop Idol birthday dress. Absolutely adore it, guys. And I know you've heard me gush about both of these pieces a lot today. So those are my picks for the week. Let me know down below in the comments what your favorite this week was. And now we're going to get into, of course, the boring stuff, the page updates. So for those of you who know, I was on my last vacation over this last weekend where I went away to the campground and the beach. Got rained out quite a bit, but had a great time at the Hampton Beach Seafood Festival on the one shining sunny day that we had. Ate a ton of amazing food, met some really cool people, and did a lot of fun stuff. So did a lot of shopping. And just kind of got away from everything for a few days, and it was a blast. Now, this week, I do, as you guys might know, if you saw last week, have some funeral things and things like that to attend. So the schedule might be a little bit wonky this week, but I am going to try to play catch up because I do have several days off paid from work, so I can kind of record and do some more content, and by next week be back on schedule as usual, pending anything else crazy going on in the world right now. But I am still back to game streaming. I know before I went away on Thursday, we actually finished Death Stranding 2, and that game was freaking amazing, guys. I cannot sing its praises enough. You guys are on the fence about it. Don't be. Get it, check it out. It is one of the best Metal Gear games we've had, and it has got an absolutely incredible story with so many twists and turns that you will keep guessing through the entire damn game. I absolutely love it. Kojima has done cinema again. Cannot sing its praises enough, and it is probably my runner-up right now for Game of the Year behind Expedition 33. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to be streaming this week. I don't want to get into a new game because we have Borderlands 4 coming out in the weekend, and I'm going to be probably streaming that. So I'll probably do some casual things like Dead or Alive Volleyball, Dead or Alive Dating, and maybe some gacha games like ZZZ or Honkai Star Rail. Just kind of some casual, just no really need to focus on kind of games where we can just chat and have fun. So make sure to come in, say hi, talk nerdy with me, and yeah, that's pretty much it for the gaming stuff. As far as videos, I do have, man, so many haul videos I have to finish up. I have my massive Crunchyroll store one, my Big Bad Toy Store from the past 3 months, and then I have one that just came during one of my streams of another Big Bad Toy Store order from the last 3 months of stuff that's been sitting too. So I have some massive hauls that I have to finish filming, and we are going to get to Prize Figure Face Off episode 2 this Friday if everything stays on track. Not going to tell you who it is yet. You'll have to tune in and find out. Those have been doing pretty well on the channel, so hopefully it catches on soon and you guys really like it. But that's it for all the page updates. I'm going to close this video out. Thank you guys so much for coming in and checking out all these amazing figures today. If you did like the video, do me a solid. Click the like button, the subscribe button, the share button. Spread the nerdiness. Follow on all the socials. Links are down in the description below, as well as any links I can find to these figures that are still available in stores. So until next time, guys, I will see y'all later. Bye, everyone.